Today, you're going to learn how to have the unshakable focus of a samurai. In a world where distraction is a norm, most people think that focus is something that's lost forever, that to be productive, you need brute willpower or apps that block the internet. But the truth is, focus isn't dead. You just need a new method to find it. The greatest warrior master who ever lived, Miyamoto Musashi, taught us that focus isn't a talent. It's a weapon. And like any weapon, it needs to be sharpened. Most people try to fight distraction by struggling against it. But a samurai's deepest lesson is that you don't fight distraction, you make it relevant. I've analyzed the principles that guided the life of Miyamoto Musashi and condensed them into 10 lessons you can apply today. This is a battle-tested method, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step process so you can stop fighting distraction and start dominating it. 1. The battlefield of the moment. The modern world teaches us to have our minds in 1,000 places at once. But for a warrior like Miyamoto Musashi, the only reality that mattered was the present moment. Distraction is your weakness. Your greatest focus is to concentrate your attention on a single task, treating it like a duel where your life depends on every movement. The warrior doesn't worry about the duel he lost yesterday or the duel he might have tomorrow. He dedicates all his energy to the enemy in front of him. This attitude is what separates men who achieve from those who are merely busy. It's the focus of a surgeon during an operation or an athlete in the last second of a game. You can't win a battle you're not fighting. By bringing all your attention to a single task, you're channeling your energy in a way that no distraction can match. But to be 100% in the present, you must first kill a terrible enemy. 2. The death of multitasking. Most people are proud to do 1,000 things at once. Multitasking is glorified as a sign of productivity. But in reality, it's a recipe for mediocrity. For a warrior, the attempt to wield 2 swords at once diminishes the power of both. It's a weakness that prevents you from achieving mastery. True focus is understanding that depth comes from exclusivity. You can't read a book and check social media at the same time and expect to absorb knowledge. You can't work out at the gym and talk on the phone and expect to build muscle and strength. Multitasking doesn't make you productive. It makes you scattered. The focus of doing one thing at a time frees you to go deep, to reach a level of excellence that most people will never experience. Miyamoto Musashi knew that a blow with 100% of his energy was more powerful than 10 blows delivered with 10%. Mastery is a result of singular focus. Now, how do you get rid of what doesn't serve you? 3. The blade of yes and no. If your focus is your sword, your focus is a blade of yes and no. Most men try to do everything, saying yes to every request, every opportunity, every distraction. But for a warrior, every yes to what doesn't matter is a no to what truly matters. Your energy is finite, and you can't protect it without a precise cut. The focus of saying no is your greatest protection. Say no to the phone notification, no to a meeting you don't need to be in, no to the social invitation that will divert you from your goal. This focus isn't about being rude, but about honoring your purpose. It frees you from chaos and gives you the power to choose where your energy goes. When you learn to use this blade of yes and no, your life simplifies. You stop feeling overwhelmed, and your mind gains crystalline focus. Most distractions aren't external, they're internal. Like a samurai, the next lesson is to silence your own chaos. 4. The discipline of emptiness. We live in a society of information overload. Our minds are constantly full of noise, news, social media, notifications, emails. Most people think they need more information to be smart, but Miyamoto Musashi taught us the opposite. True wisdom is in finding focus in emptiness, in the absence of noise. The practice of emptiness is the art of freeing yourself from what is unnecessary. It's the act of closing all browser tabs, turning off your phone for a few hours, sitting in silence, and just breathing. This practice gives you the clarity to see what's truly important. When your cup is full of garbage, there's no room for pure water. By creating space in your environment and in your mind, you allow focus to flourish. You stop feeling like you're always running and start acting with intention. This attitude gives you a power that most people will never experience. But emptiness isn't easy to find. You have to seek it out. 5. the strength of environment. Your environment is your dojo, and your ability to focus depends on how it's designed. For a warrior, every object and every arrangement in his training space serves a purpose. Most people fail to have focus because their environment is full of distractions. A phone nearby, a TV on, a cluttered desk. Your environment is your reflection. Your concentration begins even before you sit down to work. It starts by creating an environment that has no options for distraction. Put your phone in another room. Clear the clutter from your desk. Work in a quiet space. You can't expect to have focus in an environment that was built to steal it from you. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower. If your environment is sabotaging you, your ability to focus will be fighting a losing battle. Miyamoto Musashi knew that his training space was what made him a warrior. The next step to mastery is to seek out silence. 6. The master silence. A warrior is not afraid of silence. In fact, he seeks it. For most people, silence is uncomfortable, and they fill it with podcasts, music, or videos. But for Miyamoto Musashi, silence and solitude were the forges of his mind. Your focus of intentionally seeking silence is what calms your mind and sharpens your perception. In an age of constant noise, focus has become a rare commodity. You can start practicing this attention in a simple way. Spend 15 minutes of your day without stimuli, without a phone, without music, just in silence. Sit and let your mind calm down. You'll realize that the thoughts that once seemed urgent now lose their power. The man who is master silence is master of his own focus. He doesn't depend on external stimulation to feel alive. He finds his peace in his own mind. This attitude gives you a power that most men will never have, and it begins with your breath. 7. The 5-minute strategy. Inertia is the biggest enemy of productivity. Often, the reason we don't concentrate on a task isn't a lack of focus, but the feeling that the effort is too great. This is where the 5-minute strategy comes in. Focus isn't about doing the entire task. It's about committing to giving your attention to it for just 5 minutes. This strategy breaks inertia and defeats distraction before it even starts. Think of a task you've been putting off. Promise yourself you'll work on it for just 5 minutes and nothing more. Most of the time, those 5 minutes will turn into 30 or 40 or even more. The barrier to start is higher than the barrier to continue. A warrior doesn't think about all the battles he needs to fight in a war. He only thinks about fighting the first one, and then the next and the next. Focus is a game of momentum, and the 5-minute strategy is your starting point. Now, how do you maintain that focus on the journey? 8. The warrior's eye. A warrior never loses sight of his goal. For Miyamoto Musashi, victory in a duel was visualized long before it happened. Unshakable focus begins with the clarity of your final objective. Most people lose focus because they don't know where they're going. Your attention depends on a clear vision. Set aside a moment of your day to visualize your victory. Visualize completion of your project, your ideal body, your financial success. This isn't just a fantasy. It's a powerful tool that keeps your mind connected to your mission, even when distractions try to steal it. Your brain is like a GPS. It needs a destination to know where to go. Without a clear vision of your goal, your energy and your focus will scatter. This practice gives you an anchor that keeps you on the path, no matter what happens around you. But what do you do when the distraction is internal? 9. Confronting the internal noise. For a warrior, the greatest enemy is within himself. The internal noise, the voice of doubt, fear, and laziness, is the biggest cause of distraction. You can't have focus if your mind is waging war against itself. The focus of mastering yourself is the only way to silence that voice. Meditation and breath control are your weapons against internal noise. Your concentration isn't about stopping thoughts from coming, but about observing them without reacting. It's what gives you the power to choose your next action, instead of being carried away by your next impulse. It's a focus that makes you the master of your mind, and not the other way around. The man who lets himself be carried away by internal noise is always at a disadvantage. But the man who confronts and silences that voice becomes an invincible opponent. He becomes a Miyamoto Musashi of his own world, because the control of his mind is what makes him superior. And the last lesson is about following one path. 10. The single path. Most people try to succeed at 1,000 things at once. But for a warrior, total focus requires a single path. Attention isn't about doing everything well, but about doing one single thing perfectly. The path to mastery requires you close all other doors and dedicate yourself to a single goal with unshakable passion. You can't be a master of fencing and spear fighting and the art of archery all at once. The man who tries to master everything becomes a mediocre generalist. The focus of a single path frees you to go deep, to explore the depth of skill and find excellence. Mastery and success aren't a matter of talent. They're a matter of focus. Total focus requires a total commitment to one single thing. What is your single path that you will choose and follow with unshakable concentration? Your journey to master focus doesn't end here. It begins now. You can close this video and go back to your usual routine, accepting to be carried away by distractions. Or you can start fighting. The lessons of Miyamoto Musashi aren't meant to be watched. They are meant to be applied. Your focus and your mental strength are a matter of choice. Your brain already has the information, but your body needs action. What is the first lesson you are going to apply today? What are you going to do in the next 5 minutes to prove to yourself that you can be a man of unshakable focus? True transformation begins when you decide that your potential is too important to be left to chance. The battle is yours. The field is your life. The path is clear. And if you want to keep sharpening your blade and becoming unshakable, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your journey has just begun.